You know, a lot of people like Brent Ashton as a player, very consistent, but he holds a very unique distinction. Not only he's one of the most underrated players of all time, he was known during his career as the most traded player in the history of the NHL, a record since tied by Mike Sillinger. Now, according to the site NHL Trade Tracker, he was involved in 8 different trades, most of them involving Winnipeg Jets over a number of occasions. Now, we're going to go over Brent's career, but we'll talk about the trades later because it has to be seen to be believed. Now, it is native of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, born May 18th, 1960. Big 6'1", 210 player. Came to major prominence in the Saskatoon junior program. He was with the Olympics in 1976, where he had 90 points in 47 games, then graduated to Saskatoon Blades later in the 76 campaign with 7 points in 11 contests. Now, 77, 78, and 79. Played primarily with the Blades. His last season with the Blades was his best, with 119 points in 62 regular season games, including 64 goals, with 14 goals and 18 points in the postseason. Now, this led him to be drafted 26 overall by the Canucks that year, which I think was a steal. First season with Vancouver, he ended up with 19 points in 47 games and one goal in 4 playoff games. 18 goals, and eventually ended up in Colorado, where he had probably one of his best seasons ever, 60 points, including 24 goals in the 82 campaign. Now, when Colorado moved to New Jersey, he followed 14 goals in 83. Now, found himself with Minnesota in 84 and 85, eventually then traded to Quebec in 85 in their successful playoff run that year, which also included beating Montreal in the postseason. That year he had some of his best statistics, 31 total goals in 78 games, 62 points, including a 10-point, 18-game run in the playoffs. Now, 86, again, 26 goals with the Nordiques. 87, that was his top season, in my opinion. 40 goals total in 81 games with Quebec and Detroit. 88, he put up 26 goals for the Red Wings, then found himself to Winnipeg again in 89 with 68 points in 75 games. Now, 1990, 22 goals in 79 games. 91, he eventually had 12 goals in 61 games. 92, split between Winnipeg and Boston. And 93, he ended up with Boston until Calgary picked him up later on in the season. Now, final NHL totals, 284 goals, 998 games, 629 points, and a solid playoff total, ladies and gentlemen, 49 points in 85 games, and also spend time playing with Team Canada at the World Championships. Now, the many trades during the year happen very, very frequently. He didn't have a contract for the 94 campaign, then eventually signed with LA Thunder of the IHL and was playing well until suffering a career-ending knee injury in November. The injury occurred just as he was about to sign with the Kings, who would have been his 10th NHL team. Now, the Ashton trades and was very, very important because it's sort of like NHL history. Now, the rights to Ashton were traded to Colorado in 1981 for Lucien Deblois. Now, Vancouver eventually acquired Ivan Olenka for Brent Ashton in 81. Now, in 83 was traded by the very strong defenseman Dave Lewis to the North Stars, and he went over to the Nordiques with Brad Maxwell for Berglund and Tony McKechnie on December 14, 84. 87, he eventually went to the Red Wings along with Gilbert Delorme and Mark Kumpel for Basil McRae, John Ogrodnik, and Doug Shedden. Now in 88, back with Winnipeg, Brent Ashton, straight up trade for Paul McLean. Now 91, Strico for Ashton to the Bruins, and again Calgary got him in 93 for CJ Young. So if you look at the players, again, Petro Strico, Paul McLean, Basil McRae, John Ogrodnik, Doug Shedden, Gilbert Delorme, Mark Kumpel, Brad Maxwell, Bo Berglund, Tony McKechnie, Dave Lewis, Yvonne Olenka, Lucien Deblois. Some very interesting and very prominent 1980 players that skated. But Brent Ashton was more than just an asterisk of the most trades ever. He was a player in the band. He could put goals in, good on the power play, good on the offense, a good squad mate. Dick Irving once said, Brent Ashton doesn't seem to be doing anything. All of a sudden, he got 2 or 3 points, 2 goals. That's the way it goes. But I think his best years were in Quebec, because I don't think Quebec would have defeated Montreal in '85 without second and third line players like Brent Ashton. And I really enjoyed his style of play, kind of a Steve Shutt, Mike Gartner combination. Very nimble on his skates. Typical Saskatoon boy, Saskatoon players are known for that. So that's the legend of Brent Ashton. Thanks for listening. Give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And we appreciate everybody to drop in to hear a little bit of our Sports File vintage column. Have a good day.